Okay, so the source code method we completed, M method yesterday we completed, and RPM method we need to discuss. So these are the four methods available to install Postgres. For Windows, this is the only method applicable. So these three methods will be applicable any Linux platform, any flavor of the Linux. So we already completed these two methods. So we'll see how to build a database server using RPM method. So why we are using RPM method? So what is the how we can build a database server using RPM installation? Okay, so we know for any Linux platform, for any flavor of the Linux, there is a prerequisites required to verify before proceed the installation. So what are the prerequisites? These are the mandatory prerequisites. These are the optional prerequisites. So mandatory means without these two we cannot proceed installation. If you proceed, that installation will going to fail. So without optional, yes, we can go on. Without these two, we can go on to build the database server without any issues. This optional means if you have these two, yes, some functionality it will support. So if you don't have, yes, that functionality doesn't support. That's it. Optional prerequisites, mandatory prerequisites, optional prerequisites. So mandatory prerequisites. So please keep on. Please keep mute itself. Okay. So what are the prerequisites you can say? So we know the initially the author of the PostgreSQL database, so Mitchell Stonebaker, they developed a Postgres database based on C language to convert to convert to convert to convert C language to SQL language. We required compiler. The compiler name is GCC. To convert from C language to SQL language because they developed based on C language. So when you download the software that's existing in the C language, so we had to convert from C language to SQL language using compiler. So we required a compiler that is GCC. The compiler version also mandatory. It should be 3.80 or above or above. It should be 3.80 or above. Optional prerequisites. What are the optional prerequisites? Read line. So it will support functionality when you click on page up. It give the previous executed statement. What statement executed recently? The type of functionality it will support read line RPM. If you have read line RPM, that type of functionality support. Zlib, we can take the database backup in compress mode. So these two are the optional. Without these two also we can build the database server, no issues. But without these two, we cannot install Postgres database software. We cannot build the database server. So these are the prerequisites. When you go to source code, when you go to M method, when you go to RPM, any method in Linux, we have to verify these prerequisites. It should be installed prerequisite. The mandatory should be installed. Optional, that's fine. If you have with we can go and install Postgres. Okay. So as of now, we know these are the four methods. There are four methods are there to install Postgres database. We completed source code. M method we completed. RPM method we are going to discuss today. Okay. So in case of RPM method, Postgres from 14 onwards, we require Linux 8 version. Linux 8 version required. If you want to install Postgres RPM method from 14 version onwards, required Linux 8. So as of now, we know. So just how to install Postgres in source code method. In source code method, how to install? Can say, go to entire directory. We have to enter the directory. Download the software. Download the software. Download the software. Enter software. Enter software and go to the entire directory. Go to the entire directory. Yes. Next /configure make install. Make install. So these three Till now, if you finish till this step, that means we finished installation of Postgres software only. In case of source code method, we have to download the software. We have to enter the directory, enter the software, then go to the entire directory. There is a /configure. It's going to verify the prerequisites. Make, it's going to convert the existing from C language to SQL language. Make install, going to install software. So where it has is installed by default /usr local pg/SQL. This is the default Postgres home location in case of source code method. So in case of yum method, how to install? Yum install Postgres 15. Can see there is a how to install a method. Let's see. Let me get the instructions. Postgres.r Postgres.r download. Can say click on packages, Linux, RHEL. So let me, yes, 16, platform 8. So can say with this step we can install PostgreSQL software. So what is the step? Yum install PostgreSQL. So with this step, if you perform this step, if you fire this command, it's going to install the Postgres software. What is the default location? Here, what is the default location? /user pg/SQL 16. This is the default home location in case of yum method. In case of source code method different. In case of yum method is different. In case of RPM method, yes, RPM method also it's same. The same location /usr pg/SQL 16. But as of now, in the source code yum method, we install the client software, we install the server software at a time. With a single step, it's going to install client software, client libraries, server software, control modules, everything it's installed. But in case of RPM method, we are not going to install with a single step. So we have to install, first install the client software. Once finish the client software, then install the server software. Then create a cluster. The create cluster is same. Once install the software, we have to create a cluster. How to create a cluster? What is the utility? Initdb utility. Any method for creating cluster, the same method, the same utility. For connect the database, connecting to DB, what is the utility? PSQL. How to stop and start services? PG_ctl. These all utilities are same. If you go to any method, how to start the services? Using PG_ctl or systemctl. How to connect the database? PSQL. How to create a cluster? Initdb. These utilities are same, but that based on the installation type, the Postgres home location will be different. The installation way of installation is different with respect to type of installation. In case of RPM method, we have to install the client software first, then install the server software. So when you first we have to install the client software. Before installing client software, we have to know what is the client software, what is the server software. We have to download all the RPM files. All the RPM files .extend RPM .rpm. To download, please keep muted. We have to download all the RPM files. The extension could be .rpm. We have to know what is the client software. What is the client software related RPM file? What is the server related RPM file? You can say this is the client software. PostgreSQL 16.0. Which version we are using? 16. PGDG RHEL 16 64-bit .rpm for all the softwares, for all the RPMs. What is the extension? .rpm. If you see in your server these all the files, that means they used RPM method to install, to set up the database server. For all the RPM method, we have to download all the RPM files. The extension could be .rpm. This is the client software. Postgres SQL 16.0. PZDZ 64.rpm. So this is the client software. How to identify PZDZ? Based on this keyword we can identify. This is the based on this version we can identify. We are using 16.0. So based on PZDZ we can identify this is the client software. Okay, other one. So before installing client software, there is a dependency file is there, client libraries. Client libraries. When you install source code method, M method, if you go to home location, yes, there we can say lib folder. All the libraries installed inside lib folder. So you have to install the client libraries with this RPM file. With this RPM file. 1 minute. Okay. So, okay. Before installing client software, if first we have to start the client software only, but before installing client software, we need to install a client. There is a dependency file is there, client libraries. How to identify client libraries? There is a file keyword libs libraries. PZDC here also there. Only PZDC is there. That is the client software. Libs is there. The keyword libs libraries, client libraries. This is the client libraries RPM file. So first we have to install client libraries dependency file, then install the client software. Then after server related RPM file. What is the server? How to identify? There is a server keyword. You can say server. The same version you have to download. When you set up the database server using RPM method, the same version, all the RPM should be same version 16.0, 16.0, 16.0. This is for client libraries. This is the client software. This is the server related RPM file. First, we have to identify what are the RPM files required. What is the client related RPM file? What is the client libraries related RPM file? What is the server related RPM file? What is the contrib modules related RPM file? There is a contrib keyword. So based on these keywords, we can identify, we can download, we have to download these all the RPMs into our server. If you have internet connection, yes, you can download directly in the server itself. But sometimes due to security reasons, they don't allow internet connection. In that scenario, you can download into local system, copy the all the RPMs to Linux server via WinSCP. Clear? To identify which one is the RPM file, what is the client related RPM file, what is the client libraries RPM file, what is the server related RPM file, what is the contrib modules related RPM file. If you have any queries in this, to identify what are the RPMs which related to, what are the RPMs we need to download, how to identify what is the client related client libraries, server related, contrib related. Anyone any queries as of now? If you don't have, then we can we'll see how to download these RPM files. So where we can download these all the RPMs for all the open source database, postgres16 for all the open source database, open source PostgreSQL, from where we can download from this website. We have to visit this website postgres16 So let's go to this website, download. We'll see how to download these all the RPM files. Which version we have to download? 16.0. Okay, let me go to, so you can see, okay, postgresql.org. Click on download. For M method or RPM method, which one we have to select, packages or source? Packages. For M method or RPM method, we have to select packages. If you want to install Postgres via source code method, click on source. So now we are decided to install Postgres via RPM method. For M method, RPM method, click on packages. Then choose the operating system Linux RHL. Okay. So you can say come down last direct RPM download. We need to download the software for RPM method. So click on direct download. So you can say PostgreSQL 18, 17, yes, 16. So which operating system? Our operating system is, let me start the server. Yes. Let me, this is the server. I am starting. This is the server name, RPM I given. So let's start. Let me this stop this server, other server. Okay, just I started RPM. The server name is RPM. Now it's starting the server. Okay, so our Linux operating system is 8.10. So let's see, so which operating system we need to download. So Linux 8, can say RHL, either Rocky, either Alma Linux 8, either Oracle Linux. For anything you have to choose this 64-bit Linux 8. Okay, so suppose if you are using Linux 9, Linux 9, you can say here RHL, Rocky, Alma, Linux 9, 64-bit. If you use 10, yes, you can use Red Hat Enterprise Linux 64-bit 10. Based on the operating system, you have to download the software. So currently we are using Linux 8.10 version, Linux 8. So choose this one. Okay, click here, Linux 8. So here we need to download, you can see all .rpm files only. The extension .rpm. We need to download from here. You can say index of publication repositories M16 Red Hat RHL 8 64-bit. Here we need to download all the RPM files. So you can say PostgreSQL, PostgreSQL -16 can say. So these are the softwares 16.0 PZDZ, only PZDZ available. The latest version is 16.0, 16.1, can say 16.9. In the same 16 version, what is the 16.9 also available? If you want to download 16.9, yes, you can download here in this file you have to download. So I want to go with the 16.0. Next version 16.1, 16.2, 16.3. Like this, you can, which version you want to download, yes, the respective file you need to download. So let me 16.0 I want to download. Copy link address. In the server itself, if you want to download, copy link address, there you can download, or if you want to download into local system, click here. It's going to download PostgreSQL 16.0 PZDZ RHL 64-bit .rpm file. .rpm file. Can say, let me go to in the download folder. Can say .rpm. This is the client related RPM file. Okay. So let me connect server root Oracle. Let me take IP address. If config, what is the IP address? 106. Let me connect putty 192.168.0.106. Accept root Oracle. Okay. Okay. Let me increase the font size. Right click on the white panel, change settings, appearance, change, apply. Okay. So how to know which OS installed? OS-release Oracle Linux 8.10. Okay. So clear the screen. Now you can say wget. I copied the link from there. Let me copy the link again. So this is the software. This is the client related RPM file. Right click, copy link address, wget, paste. It's going to download. Yes, download. This is the file I download. This is the client related RPM file. Next, client libraries, libs. Can say PostgreSQL 16-lib 16.0. We downloaded 16.0. If you want to download 16.1, yes, you can go through respective version. 16.0 libraries file. wget, it's download client libraries file also. Next. So server related. Server, by search with server keyword. You can say copy link address, wget, download this file also. Yes. Next, contrib related. Contrib. You can say Right click, copy link address, duplicate. Yes, we download all the files. These are the 4 files we require to set up the database server using RPM method. This is the client PCDG, client libraries. Before install client software, we need to install dependency for client software, client libraries we need to install. For any RPM file, how to install? There is a RPM-IVH RPM file. How to install any RPM-IVH space RPM file. First we need to install client software. If you install directly, it could not install. There is a dependency file is there. If you want to, you can verify. You can say failed dependencies. So let me try. What is the dependency file? Client libraries. Let me try this one. RPM-IVH client libraries. Yes, successfully installed. Next, client software. RPM-IVH client software. Yes, we installed client software. Client dependency file installed, client libraries, client software installed. How to verify the installation? /usr pgs equals 16. You can say yes, libraries installed, bin is there, share folder is there. We install client software. If anyone asks, please install the client software only using RPM method. You have to download these 2 files, you have to install these 2 files. That's it. If you want to build a database server, yes, you have to follow the remaining steps. Only client software means, yes, these 2 files required to install client software using RPM method. Okay. Now, CD, go to root home location. Now, install the server related RPM-IVH server. This is the server related RPM file. You can say server also installed successfully without any issues. Next, contrib modules. RPM-IVH installed everything. So once install these all the files, you can say the same install client libraries RPM-IVH. The output also there. Next, install client software. Yes. Verify the installation part. The same we seen. Then CD back to root home directory. Install server related and contrib modules related. Then to find what packages are installed, RPM-QA grep Postgres. What are the packages installed to verify? RPM-QA pipe symbol grep Postgres. You can say contrib we installed, libraries we installed, server related RPM we installed. This one PostgreSQL. This is the default file. This is the client related. These are the packages installed currently in this server. Okay. Now create a cluster. We install everything. How to create a cluster? Using initdb utility. Using initdb utility. What is the initdb utility full path? Under bin folder it's there. Let me switch to Postgres user. Yes. Initdb. It's created a cluster with the default data directory. This is the default data directory. So how to start the services? Creation of cluster is success. In the next in the output itself it's given. This is the command. You can go and start the cluster services using pgctl. If you want to go with the pgctl, yes, you can use this command. Just copy paste. It's going to start the cluster services. If you don't want to go to pgctl, then go to root account, then enable the services file, enable the service file, then start the Postgres16 services using systemctl. You can say status. You can say so its daemon is enabled or not? It's enabled. Whenever the server is restarted, automatically the services also started by daemon process because the daemon process enabled. How to enable daemon process? This is the command. When you enable this command, it's created a daemon process. It created a service file. You can say created a symbolic link to this service file. If you disable this one, how to disable systemctl? Disable PostgreSQL system.service. When you disable the daemon process, disable, whenever the server is rebooted, the services won't start automatically. Clear? Now I want to connect the database. Switch to Postgres user. How to verify the service are running or not? After switching Postgres user, using systemctl we can verify, or you can use ps-efa grep Postgres. This is the data directory, default data directory takes. This is the Postgres installation location. These all are background process. So now how to connect the database? Let me go and verify data directory. There is under data directory, there are data files and the configuration files are there. PostgreSQL.config. Yes, this is all the parameters existing inside this parameter file. PSQL, how to connect the database? Using PSQL. So how to see all the databases? /L, Postgres, template 0, template 1, by default 3 database existing, 3 rows. If you want to create your own database, create a database name HRMS. Yes, /L. Total 4 rows are there, 4 database are there. Like this, if you want to create your own database, whatever database you want to create. /C HRMS. I want to connect HRMS database. Yes, /C space DB name. Now I connected HRMS database. I am in the inside HRMS database. /DN schemas, list of schemas. You can say only one schema is available by default for each and every database. Public is the default schema. If you want to create your own schema, yes, you can create. Create schema name HRMS underscore yes. You can say /DN. Yes, we created this schema. So who is the owner of all the objects? Postgres is the current user. You can say, let me verify. Select a current underscore user. Who is the current user? Which user we use to connect this database? Postgres user only. What is the current database? Current database. You can say, what is the current database? By seeing this name itself, you can say, right now I connected HRMS database. If you want to see using function, select a current underscore database. It gives the current database, which database you connected right now. Okay. Select a current underscore schema. Which schema you connected? Current underscore schema. Which schema? By default, if you connect any database, default I connected public schema only. That is the default behavior. So if you create any table, the table is created which schema? Public only. ID integer. You can say /dd list of tables. Please keep mute. List of tables. You can say emp table is created inside public schema because right now we connected a public schema. Default, when you connect any database, default you directly connected to public schema. If you want to connect other schema, how to connect other schema? Set search underscore path to HRMS underscore yes. Now you can say I switched other schema. Let me see. Select current underscore schema. Now I connected HRMS underscore yes schema, not public. If you create any table right now, this table is created under HRMS underscore yes schema /dt. You can say EMP table is created where inside right now this schema we connected. This table is available both public schema under HRMS underscore yes schema. Clear? Any queries from anyone? This is how you can build a database server using RPM method. Yes, any queries?
Uh, what is the difference between owner and schema?
Owner and schema. Okay, good question. You are from Oracle background? I think yes.
Yes.
So, okay. So here, owner means, okay. Suppose, let me, ABC user. If you create a ABC user, let me create username ABC with password ABC. Okay. Slash du to check the roles or users. By default, super user will be Postgres user. That is the super user. It has all the privileges equal to sysdba in Oracle. Okay. So the other user we created ABC. This only its user. This ABC user, what it will do? This user having permission to see any database, to see any schema, to see any tables, to create any tables, to create any database. Then only we can perform using this ABC user. As of now, ABC user doesn't have any permissions. Simple, it's a user. If you create a schema, you can say slash dn. So public is the schema. Schema and user. In Oracle, both are same. Here, there is a big difference between schema and user. So user is, it's nothing but a normal user. It has privileges. Then only we can see, we can access the specific database objects. Schema means it has, schema is a collection of objects. Schema is a collection of objects. So every schema, it's assigned to one owner, Postgres user. Yes, Postgres is the owner of public schema. So user or owner. If it is a schema owner, it has all the privileges. If it is a normal user, it has privileges. Then only we can see, we can access the database objects using specific user. Schema means just it collection of objects. Clear? So in Oracle, it's a schema owner. Okay, user both are same. So it's their schema name and username both are same. Here different, complete different. If you have any ABC user having any privileges on top of any DB, any schema, any table, yes, we can access. If you don't have any access, we cannot access using ABC user. Clear?
Here we are giving the privileges to user, not the schema.
Yes.
Schema is just the container
Collection of
where
objects. It can
mhm.
store the objects. That's it.
Okay.
On top of which database, which schema you required. So we have to give the access on specific DB, specific schema to any user. That's it. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So we completed RPM method also. Okay. So the four installation method we completed. So this is the our course content. Okay. So the daily we know, so the timings will be same. 8 o'clock 8 a.m that section will be started, 9 a.m the section will be ended. So 8 to 9 a.m the 1 hour session. Monday to Friday the session will be, so we are taking the sessions Monday to Friday. There is no sessions weekend. Okay, so yes. Okay, I will already I share the course content, the link in the group itself. Okay, the fee will be okay 13,000. So tomorrow onwards, the we are changing the Zoom link. So ping me if you anyone interest to continue this training. So okay, if you register the course, then we'll add you into new WhatsApp group. There we'll share the new Zoom link and all the material, all the videos every day what we discussing.
In performance tuning, what we are going to cover?
Yes, we have right in this. Yeah.
Yeah. What things are there in the performance tuning
Yeah,
we are going
like
to cover?
in general, any database it's same, right? Suppose if any user give complaint, my job is taking too much long. So what we do? Not only Postgres in Oracle, it's same. Performance tuning is same for all the database. Means the way of steps are same. Okay, so that we
So,
will discuss.
okay.
Okay,
So
Okay,
one
we need to.
let
Yeah,
me.
sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.